it can be really, I remember, I still experience, it's so intimidating to reach out and take certain donuts and you feel like you're not good enough or educated enough or whatever. The resume isn't shiny enough, but everyone started from zero, like Andy Warhol, Leonardo da Vinci, Beyonce, all these people started from just like normal people. Um, and just to keep that in mind that you can be just as successful and experienced. It's going to be uncomfortable, but it's a really sweet bite to take at the end of the day.
Hello, everyone. I am Melissa Forziat of Take the Doughnut, here to help you get inspiration and get donuts. I'm a keynote speaker, and today I'm bringing you a Take the Doughnut interview with Emily Beaudoin, who is a painter, illustrator, and muralist based in Canmore, Alberta. Welcome, Emily.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here.
I'm so glad to have you here. And, we have some serious questions to get to, but before we get to those, I have to ask, what's your favorite donut?
So I'm actually celiac. So
Oh,
donuts
no.
are very hard to come by in the celiac world. But before I was celiac, I was so into the mini donuts at the fairgrounds. Huge fan of those.
What's your favorite treat that you can eat?
A good gluten-free cinnamon bun really hits the spot.
All
They're hard to
right.
find, but when you get them, they're great.
Take the gluten-free cinnamon bun. It's as simple as that. We just switch out the thing. It's so good.
Exactly.
Well, look, I said just a little bit about you up front, but tell us more about yourself. What should we know about you?
Yeah, so I am a full-time painter, illustrator, and muralist I live in a little town called Canmore, just outside of Banff National Park, and the mountains are definitely my muses. So all of my art is focused around mountains and the flora and fauna that live within them. And in all my spare time, I just love to be out there skiing and hiking and exploring and immersing myself as much as possible in the mountains and all of their fun things that come with them.
It sounds like a really special place to be and a very inspiring place to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, for those who are wondering what this Take the Doughnut thing or the gluten-free cinnamon bun thing is all about, so I'll tell you just a little bit about me before we get into more questions with Emily. So Take the Doughnut for me is another way to say carpe diem. And it comes from this very strange thing that happened to me in college where I left an actual donut on a table, but it became an object lesson for me and what it looks like to leave an opportunity behind. So I don't want to do that anymore. I want to take the donut instead. So basically, this conversation is all about going after opportunities, taking opportunities in life, and what that looks like practically speaking when we go for our goals. So, Emily, let me ask you this. How are you with just generally just going after goals? What is that process like for you?
I I was thinking about this morning, and I really love going after goals. I wish that I was a proactive person. I wish I could say that, but I'm a bit more of a reactive person. So when I have a goal or an opportunity that comes up, I kind of just like chuck myself into it and learn on the go, which is great. It's very empowering and exciting, probably more stressful than it needs to be. But yeah, in terms of my art practice and business, I'm all about chasing the goals and learning on the fly.
Okay, that sounds good. But it sounds for you like it's more about kind of being in the flow of like what's coming your way already and then moving towards that versus like trying to create something out of nothing.
Yeah, I think it's been such a cool experience with this business. Like the more you do, the more opportunities come your way, and just putting yourself out there and saying yes to things and, grabbing all the donuts, even if you're not sure how to eat them, has been a very cool way of just seeing it kind of gain momentum and roll along.
Really interesting. And that's encouraging for so many of us to hear that if you can just keep it going, like if you
Mhm.
keep saying yes, you can keep having things to say yes to. Um, when you start tackling something really big, something very big is presented to you, or you're going after something and you realize that the size of this donut is perhaps larger than you anticipated. What keeps you motivated in the process?
I think that feeling of having like this donut is too big, for me, it's like physically painful and uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I don't feel capable or educated. And it's like this instinct to get rid of that pain and like learn and develop in order to fix that feeling. Um, and just a belief in art and creativity, that humans are such creative beings and we will figure it out. That's how we've survived for so long and evolved. Yeah, I think just like take it head on and fix this feeling of discomfort.
It's interesting though, because I think some people will have that discomfort and they'll fix it by running, like turning away from it. And it sounds like you fix it by turning, like sprinting into
Yes.
it.
And you know, because it's something that I want to do and I want to grow, and I kind of have realized about myself, like just fake it till you make it and you will figure it out along the way. I really like that kind of like in the moment, on your feet, ingenuity, problem solving part of it.
Well, speaking of which, so, when we go after things that are new to us, a lot of times challenges come up, obstacles come in our way. And I'm curious for you if there's a particular brand of challenge that just keeps coming up for you over and over again, sort of like no matter what you're doing, it always rears its head for you.
I think for me, imposter syndrome is like the ever present little guy on your shoulder telling you that you don't know what you're doing and you don't deserve to be here. Um, it's interesting. I've spoken with some very successful, big deal other creatives and artists, and it sounds like it never really goes away, which sucks, but is also a little bit like comforting. Like, okay, it's they feel it too, and you're never going to arrive. You're never going to feel, I don't know, maybe Beyonce feels this way, but I don't know if the vast majority of us will, but just to know that like yeah, it's always going to be there. It's sitting with that discomfort and just sort of telling it, I don't really care what you think. It's going to keep going. But yeah, it's hard. I deal with it every day for sure.
Mm. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that one. So I'm glad you mentioned it. Um, I'm wondering, when you think back on your life, what the biggest donut you've ever taken is. And that can be personal, that can be professional, it could be recent, long past, whatever comes up for you. But what was the biggest thing that you said yes to?
I think being a full-time artist, that was a really, I was a part-time artist for so many years and I had a day job and I was also painting like full-time and staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning all the time, and just taking that leap. And it has been so positive and really, yeah, just to like put both feet in has been really cool and terrifying as well.
I mean, it's huge. I think when people say they've jumped full time into any business, I just sort of like congratulate them for getting to that point, because it takes a lot of courage. Usually there's some sort of safety net that you had to leave behind to get there.
Mhm.
Um, and so it's like this really big commitment that I think just the very act of it is worth celebrating.
Yeah, and it's one that like, you know, the stereotype society always tells you you can't be an artist. It's like if I was like, "Oh, I'm going to become a full-time accountant," people would be so supportive. So to deal with your own doubts and also society's doubts, to just like push all of that noise away. Yeah, it's been it's been a good lesson in life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's the same answer to this question, but is there a donut that you're taking right now?
Um, there's kind of two things that I've got going on right now. I just finished a huge mural down in Seattle in Washington, which was the biggest contract I've ever signed, the most intricate design. I also did the whole thing with spray paint, which in the past I've just used brushes and rollers as a muralist. So I really didn't know. It's like, I don't know if I can pull this off. I don't know if I have this skill. Just going back to that reactive learner thing. But it came out, yeah, I'm really, really pleased with how it came out. I feel that whole discomfort and pain of not knowing if you can do something is gone. And yeah, really excited about that project. And then I've also got the Banff Mountain Film Festival is a amazing international outdoor film fest that originated just 20 minutes down the road from where I live. And I am the festival's official artist this year. So that's coming up in a couple weeks, and there's going to be artist talks and walks and workshops, and all of the branding is my art for the festival. So yeah, really, really excited about that. That's probably, these two things are probably the biggest things that have happened in my career so far. So it's been a good month.
That's so exciting. Really
Thank
glad that we
you.
could sort of celebrate that with you and sort of
Yeah,
follow
thank
that journey
you.
with you. Look, there may be people who are listening to this who have a donut of their own that they want to take, and they're trying to get some inspiration from you along the way. Maybe it's still an idea. They're starting towards it. They've taken some steps, but wherever they are in the process, let's sprinkle some encouragement. And what would you say to those people?
I would just say that it can be really, I remember, I still experience, it's so intimidating to reach out and take certain donuts, and you feel like you're not good enough or educated enough or whatever. The resume isn't shiny enough, but everyone started from zero, like Andy Warhol, Leonardo da Vinci, Beyonce, all these people started from just like normal people. Um, and just to keep that in mind that you can be just as successful and experienced. It's going to be uncomfortable, but it's a really sweet bite to take at the end of the day once you've grabbed it, and just do it. Yeah, it's life is short, and I think being uncomfortable is part of it, unfortunately, but it has great results.
Well said. Hopefully that helps some people keep moving forward in whatever it is they're doing. Now, for those of us who want to follow your journey, especially some of these really exciting things that you have going on right now, where can we find you?
Yeah, thank you. You can find me on Instagram. It's just emily.beaudoin. My website is emilybeaudouin.com. And yeah, I will be active on those, sharing all these exciting things coming up, hopefully.
Awesome. Everybody be sure to check out those resources. I'll put some links in the description for you all so you can check those out. And if you liked hearing Emily's story, be sure to like and subscribe on this video because there are so many inspirational interviews that are still to come. But in the meantime, Emily, thank you so much for just sharing your wisdom, sharing your experiences, and giving us all some inspiration.
Thank you so much, Melissa. It's been really great to be on here. So thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for saying yes. And everybody who's watching, you know what to do. Go out there, get inspiration, get donuts. Bye.